Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain Logan Show. It is I, Captain Logan, and tonight joining me as always is my chat moderator and my son, Jason.
Hi.
He's co-hosting with me tonight once again, and it feels like it's been like a year since I've seen you guys. It's only been, I don't know, 9 or 10 days since I did a stream, but I take a little bit of time off when I wasn't planning a hiatus, and it feels like I've been gone forever. So, welcome everybody. It's good to finally see you. I can't be away from you guys. It drives me nuts. It just destroys the momentum of my life. It destroys the flow, as it were, Jason. Yes. The flow.
Yeah.
So Defoe?
Willem Dafoe.
Out am I? So anyway,
I'm something of a scientist myself.
We thought we'd come back with, the show's always laid back, but we thought we'd come back with a laid back, real fun Q&A show. We do a little bit less Q&A on the show these days. It's been a little bit more news focused. We do Q&A more in the second half. Tonight we're going to do Q&A through a lot of the show.
All of it.
Yeah, not all of it. We're going to have some segments. But we're going to open tonight with some Would You Rather. We're going to do that through most of the first hour. When we come back at the second hour, we're going to show you guys a sneak peek, a clip of Superhero Rewind the movie, which is the reason that I took last week off. I've been working on the rough cut, and I am happy to announce that I have basically a full rough cut done now. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And obviously there's still tons of work. I shouldn't say tons. There's still a decent amount of work left to do. I've got a lot of color correcting and sound design, and I've still got some effects to do, although a decent amount of the effects are done. But I've got to do effects. I mean, nobody get too excited. It's not like it's state-of-the-art CGI or anything, but I've got some green screen things and other stuff I can't talk about. But anyway, and then Wendell, our composer, is finishing music.
Yes.
And he's got a lot of the music done already, but he's scoring the most music heavy stuff now. And so that's a lot of the reason that I can't give a hard and fast release date yet. I guess this is just a real quick update on the movie. And once again, for folks that are not aware of this yet, it's I've been posting about it a lot lately, and you're going to see more blasts about this as the weeks progress now, because we're kind of in the end game now, folks. And I say that it'll probably be another couple months at least, I imagine, because I don't know how long, again, Wendell's going to need to finish the music. He's been crazy fast, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wendell. But I'm giving him the hardest composing stuff.
Yeah.
I say the hardest, the most time consuming stuff. Because he makes it look effortless. It's ridiculous. And you'll get to hear some of his music tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to be in this clip.
Now, Dan's Den says,
yeah, hi guys.
Can't wait to see our profile pics in the movie. Now,
what does that mean?
So, we will have you guys' names in the movie. Those of you who, donated a certain amount of money. Right now, I don't think we have profile pics in there.
No,
yeah.
I was not planning on doing that.
Yeah.
I guess I could. I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Probably not, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, partly because I'd probably have to make up a couple.
Yeah.
For certain things. Again, I don't want to give too much away. And then because of the scene of what it is, Jason, I don't even know if the profile pics would even be the same. I don't know if it makes sense. But
yeah.
Anyway, we will. I'll noodle it. I'll consider that. But that was not on my radar at all. So anyway, I'm glad he said something about that. I'll have to think about it. The movie is clocking longer than originally intended.
Yeah.
Naturally, because you guys know me, I'm pretty wordy. I write long. It's a very dialogue-driven movie. You won't be surprised to know that. It is Superhero Rewind in a few different ways, and that is one of them. So right now, we're talking real seriously about how much we're going to cut, or if we're going to just let it be long.
I can just let it be long, but we'll have to watch it and see. If we get bored.
I don't know where I'm leaning on it until we sit down and the crew and watch the whole rough cut from start to finish.
Yes.
Which we'll try to do pretty soon. I wonder if we should wait for music for that, or if we should just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do
I
it.
think that's probably, we're just planning on air again. I think that's probably the way to go. But anyway, so this has been a lot of my time lately, and I'll be streaming a lot more, I'm sure, once the thing is finished. But everybody just bear with me because I'm having to focus on that to get it done. So I'm back. I'm gonna be streaming, but it's been a little bit light on the streams this year comparatively, and that will probably continue until this thing is done. Just in that, I won't be able to do quite as much as I usually do. But anyway, what else was I gonna say about that? We've got to do a local premiere for cast, crew, friends, family, and stuff before I'm gonna be able to do the showing for the top tier super chat supporters. We've got a tier for that, and then I will have it out to the patrons a day or two early, and then we'll have it to everybody after that. So I'm not going to be able to come up with a date for you until A, I've got music, and B, I've hammered out when that local premiere is going to happen. I've got a local venue we're doing that at, and I can't figure out a date with them until I know when the movie can actually be completed. On my end, if I was forced into a corner and I had to have it out in 2 weeks, I could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that stage now. I actually could put it out in 2 weeks now. I couldn't do anything else. I'd have to kill myself to do it, but I could do it. But I won't have the music that fast. So anyway, thanks for joining us, folks. Tonight, top super chatter gets something I've never done before on the show. A private message from me. I will record something on video. Just a fun little message. Think of it like a cameo or something. That sort of thing, except probably longer because it's me. So I don't know, I'll send you something like 5-10 minutes, just chatting about whatever comes to mind, and give you a fun, uplifting message. I'll try not to make it depressing, But if people want to leave super chats, that is the reward the top super chatter gets tonight. All accumulated, of course. Jason will tally those up at the end if we have very many. Tim Drake just put one in, and we ask you to do Would You Rather tonight. If you want to leave a super chat and ask us about something else, and it's not Would You Rather, I'm not going to say no. I appreciate the super chats. Well, thanks a ton, Tim Drake, for the couple super chats already. He just put in a $20 super chat. Really appreciate you, man. He's the guy to beat. But he'd be the guy to beat if it was a $2 super chat.
What's really funny is he's sending us all this money to argue with Austin. So that's amazing.
Okay, yeah, that is amazing. Now I feel like I owe Austin money. I don't know.
Also, Austin said you should send him the movie and he'll see if it's too long.
Oh, okay.
That's
thanks,
what Austin said.
Thanks, Austin. I may take him up on that. I may let him look at it early. I kind of wanted to show it to one or two people that are not at all close to it, that have no idea about what's in it, and maybe even aren't big channel people. But I don't know. It's not always a good idea to do those pre-screening things. That's a double-edged sword in Hollywood. So I don't know how much I want to get caught up in that. Especially because I'm not going to have a big sample set. So, I mean, if I show it to 20 people, that's too large of a percentage of the people that will see it.
Yeah.
Comparatively. I mean, I'm sure eventually we'll get at least a few thousand views on it. That's my hope. These kind of big projects, they've always done at least that well. So,
yeah.
Anyway, it's going to be available at least by late summer, early fall is what we're aiming for. And it will be for free here on the channel.
Yeah.
So look forward to it, folks. But anyway, so as always, you can leave a super chat any dollar amount. Guarantees that we'll talk about your topic. Do Would You Rathers if you are so inclined. If it's got to be something else, we'll probably do it kind of briefly because we're doing the Would You Rather thing. And we've already gotten quite a few of those in regular comments. Make sure to tag at Jason, at Video Game Secrets, at 12-year-old Captain Logan. Because that's who he's playing. That's who he's playing in the movie. Jason will answer to any of those things and more. You can call him a Diet Coke, really anything. He'll answer to.
Nope.
He won't drink a Diet Coke, but
Pepsi Perfect.
Pepsi Perfect. Okay.
Unless you got power.
Hoverboards don't work on water. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Would You Rather thing. We're going to start with real quick Would You Rathers from each of us to each other, and I'm going to let Jason start first. Jason, throw me a Would You Rather, and then I'll throw you one. Go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't write this down, so it's in my head, but
Well, I'm glad it's somewhere.
yeah. So would you rather spend 3 months in a room with nothing except like food and like a bed and like a bathroom, or
So a prison cell?
yes, basically.
Okay.
In my prison cell, I think these words. Where
You gotta stop with
can't-
TMG lyrics.
you can't
Nobody knows what
speak-
you're talking about.
You can't speak to anyone outside the world for 3 months and then you get out, right?
Okay, okay.
Or spend 6 months in a room where you still can't talk to anyone, but there's like video games and like TV and like all this stuff to do, like
Okay, so
all this entertainment.
the first thing is it's a completely empty room,
Yes.
but what's the upside?
So so you either spend 3 months in an empty
I
room.
missed something here. Okay, 3 months, and you're still cut off from the outside world.
Yeah. Or except like your necessities. Or
Okay.
6 months,
Yeah.
but you have like entertainment, like video games and TV and
Yeah, like I feel like you'd want to take the second thing, just because at least you're not bored. Or, like that might be a nice vacation for me, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, no, sorry. I felt like I was missing something because that seemed really easy.
yeah.
What is it for you? I mean, is it the same thing,
I don't know.
or is it just you don't want to be
I
in
think it's the same
a
thing.
confined space that long?
Yeah, I think it's just like it's
6 months
double
is a
the time.
long time. 3 months would almost feel longer than 6 months if there was nothing to do,
Sure.
like at all.
Sure.
I mean, you're saying like not even like writing implements or anything. Like there's nothing at all to do. Yeah, I'd probably take a year with just a Super Nintendo
Yeah.
over 3 months with nothing there at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's just me. Some people are better with their own company and can make their own fun just in their head. Remember that season, what was it, 3 TNG episode with the guy, with the scientist who you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Who rewards himself when he finishes something by playing out entire seasons of baseball in his head? Like, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a weird scene. Okay, my Would You Rather for you, Jason, is more current and topical. We know, and it's funny because this was recently announced like it was news.
Is it about
But-
chairs?
No, but if what?
Oh,
Chairs.
the Avengers Doomsday thing.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, this was announced recently like it was news, but it was pretty evident to anybody paying attention or anybody that knows about Power Rangers. But the new Power Ranger show that's being developed for Disney Plus is not going to have tokusatsu footage. Oh, shocking! Like we didn't already know that.
Yeah.
And people were kind of flipping out about how silly that was. People are also complaining that it was announced as being a live action show. They were like, well, Power Rangers is always live action. Why would you have to be specific about that? I'm like, because a lot of people have been assuming the next Power Rangers thing would be animated, or have been wanting it to be animated. And also, given that it's on Disney Plus, I don't think it was a given that it was live action. So I didn't have any problem with the articles saying live action Power Ranger show. But anyway, I digress. If that were up in the air, Jason, would you rather a new Power Ranger series have tokusatsu footage, or go totally from scratch and be completely Americanized?
Oh, I would rather have tokusatsu footage.
Oh, really?
Just because the new Sentais are awesome and.
See, I've heard that, because I haven't been keeping up with Sentai at all, I've heard that they're getting increasingly harder to adapt, where people are like, I don't even know what you do with the new season. But I want to see an attempt at that new one that's got like the Dino Megazord and Mighty Morphin suits, but Mighty Morphin suits with weird belts. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, I'll have to show you that. Yeah, it's very strange. Well, I sent you a clip from it. Do you not remember that?
No.
I sent you a clip where it was like this alternate reality where Power Rangers came first.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? That's that Sentai.
Okay.
I think it's the current one. But
Yeah.
but the Red Ranger had this really weird belt.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was just one scene. I didn't think that was the whole.
So did I at the time. Apparently, that's the whole show.
Also, sorry,
What?
it's not. But
well, I
that's
keep
also
seeing
from,
stuff
like,
with those.
13 years ago.
Oh, was
So,
it? Oh, I
yeah,
thought.
that was like 2012.
Okay, I thought there was a new one that was doing stuff with that.
That was the spin-off anime one that was
I don't know.
official, but was.
I don't know. I keep seeing footage from it like it's new. So I don't know. We might be talking about totally different things here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's not important. But you'd rather it have Tokusatsu
Yes.
footage.
Yes.
Because I'm sort of two minds about it.
Sure.
There's a part of me that wants to see a really serious Power Rangers thing that does what 2017 wanted to be a lot better.
Yeah.
I guess my answer to that would be I want both.
Sure. I think I would rather want.
I wish the tradition would continue, but I wish we got a full American thing also. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, what were you saying?
I think it would. I think I would either want a one where they adapted Sentai or an animated one.
You know, it'd be really cool if there were Tokusatsu manga, and then we adapted the manga as an American comic book.
Yeah.
Just for the tradition of
Sure.
of adapting the Japanese stuff. That'd be really fun. Okay, let's get into... Why don't you go ahead and read those first couple super chats?
Sure.
Since that was kind of big, and I don't know when it will make sense for that to come up, and then we'll go ahead and tackle the Would You Rathers.
Okay.
More people pouring in. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Top super chatter tonight gets a personal video message from me, so throw in super chats if you're so inclined. And go ahead, Jason.
All right. So Tim Drake. Hi, Tim Drake. Tim Drake sent you money. Tim Drake
It's really nice
put
of
in
him.
a $5.
I got money from Red Robin.
Yes.
I don't eat hamburgers anymore, but if I did, I could spend it at Red Robin.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Tim Drake put in a $5 super chat and said, "Cap, I put Amazing Spider-Man 2 as my number 2 and made my friend put it in his top 5.
Wait.
You're the one.
You stacked it! You made your friend... You stacked the deck on us!
Specifically because Austin trashes it way too much. It's not that bad. And then Austin came in and said it is that bad. And then Tim Drake put in $20 and said,
Wow!
"False, sir."
Well, thank you for giving me money to give Austin crap.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, and I hope that becomes a tradition on the channel. But anyway, I think two things can be true at the same time. This is just my personal opinion. I think it is true that Amazing Spider-Man 2, with respect to you, and I see, it sounds like he's being hilariously disingenuous, where let's not take this exercise too seriously, where he would not have put that second on his list if he wasn't trying to, kind of stab Austin in the heart. So I don't know. I think it's really funny, but I think it is true that is an absurd placement for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't understand that. There's even if you don't think it's terrible, there's a lot of better superhero movies than that. But
My question is, what is your number 1?
but it also is true to me personally, Austin and Tim Drake, that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not as insanely terrible as people made it out to be when it came out. Like it's not good.
I think it's more got some funny bad moments.
But it was head scratching to me how over the top it was, but especially in the opening where I was like, "Oh, this is a cartoon! Like, what is happening?"
Yeah.
And Electro was embarrassing,
Yes.
but there are things in it I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I thought there was some kind of creative stuff with the soundtrack with the Electro stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, just go to score. Like, oh, the score is good. I thought
Well, if that's the only good thing.
I liked some of those early scenes with Peter Parker and Harry Osborn. They're kind of rekindling their friendship. I liked their casting choice for Norman Osborn. Some of the action I think was okay.
Yeah, I think Norman Osborn in that is good.
Yeah, like I like stuff in it. And like you said, there's crazy over the top stuff that is not what I want, but I was kind of entertained by.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand the vitriol and the insane backlash when it came out. I also think it's worse for not having a sequel, because I think they it wasn't unsalvageable, and I think they could have turned it around after that. Now I don't like. And starting with that first one. Also, Austin really doesn't like Amazing in the first place, and so we're already coming at this at a different place. It kind of cross purposes. So like I liked the regular part of the origin okay, the Uncle Ben death and all of that, and
That's like the best way they've handled that, in my opinion.
and see, I don't go that far. I prefer the traditional one, certainly, and I thought it was like slightly convoluted, but all the stuff about Peter starting initially, I've talked about this a lot, but initially starting as kind of a almost revenge seeker, and then turning that around on the bridge with that kid. I thought that was all wonderful. But anyway, so when you get into 2, like I'm already more with it and more invested, but all the stuff with the parents was kind of nonsense, and I didn't like that from the start. So yeah, like I don't like it. It's bad. It's more than a mixed bag. Like I say bad. Is it straight up bad? It's kind of bad, but it's not like
It's not as bad as other
god
superhero
awful.
movies. I mean, there are worse superhero movies.
I
But there are also better.
I will just
superhero
say,
movies.
and people are going to think I'm being just disingenuous when you say this. This is just for my own personal enjoyment. This is not me trying to throw rocks at the viewers that have given me crap about this. I would rather watch it over Spider-Man 3. I don't even know if it's technically a better movie, but I would rather watch it over Spider-Man 3.
I think I agree.
That's just me.
I think I Spider-Man agree.
Anyway, let's get into some Would You Rather.
Sure. Let's do some Would You Rathers from your post.
Could you start with Hot Soup Super Chat?
Oh, yeah, I was going to, and then I just forgot. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the gong.
So let's start
for
with
the
the Super Chat.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
We got
discussion.
$5 from Hot Soup. Would you rather have a permanent smile or a permanent Bane voice?
Can I have both? Could I be
Bane!
Could I be Nicholson Joker and when he walks in like Nicholson Joker when we first see him in the getup and he walks in to kill Jack Palance, to kill what's his face? Carl Grissom. And he goes, "Now you can see, I'm a lot happier." I want that. I want to just do all the.
What a lovely voice.
I'm only smiling on the outside. You're laughing. My smile is just skin deep.
Oh no.
You might want to join me for a week. Yeah, I want both. But yeah, if I had to pick between those, I guess practically it'd be the smile, right?
Yeah.
Be easier to get around. I think
Easier to understand you.
Hilariously, I think people could take you more seriously with that smile than that voice.
I think so. Now,
And one of these, and if you wanted to be intimidating, one of these is intimidating and one of these is not.
Sure.
The Bane voice, for anybody that doesn't know where I'm going with this, is the one that's not.
No. Strawberries are packed with
Fiber. Okay.
Gary.
That is
Pizza.
Hot Soup. That's my favorite Would You Rather in a long time, and I'm gonna be really surprised if anybody can beat that.
Gotham City's not even known for it.
Right, go ahead.
Okay, we have Would You Rather from John Henry. Would you rather have all Marvel content be Thanos snapped out of existence? Thanos would be gone as well, or
and then he can't wear this top hat.
Right. Or all of DC be Thanos snapped out of existence.
Okay, does he mean movies or comics or what? Just
all Marvel content or all DC content.
Okay, well then, I mean, that's a really convoluted or like complicated way to say, do you prefer DC or Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Like, help me figure out if there's anything more complex. I'm overthinking this. About this question beyond just what your personal preference is.
Right.
Right? Like,
I think this is more which one would you rather have gone?
Because my whole thing is my answer always to Marvel or DC has been Batman. So if you get rid of DC, you don't have Batman, and I can't have that. So
Right.
I would sacrifice Marvel for Batman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but I would.
But then you don't have the truth anymore, which is I am Iron Man.
Well, that's the thing is when you're looking on the movie side, then you end up with a unfortunate, more dull history of superhero movies.
Yeah, you do.
Because you don't have the MCU, but you do have the Batman movies, so I guess that's good.
Yeah.
And then it's unfortunate to sacrifice either side with comics, obviously. And a lot of my favorite, ones and things have been Marvel things, but again, I don't know that I can lose Batman.
I'd have to go with DC, just because DC doesn't have X-Men. So
Yeah, sure.
yes, my favorite
Oh,
superhero
okay. So,
movie is the
so
Batman.
when you say go
but
with, you're saying you have to get rid of DC.
I have to get rid of DC.
You'd rather hang on to Marvel because you got to have X-Men. So you would even sacrifice Batman and Batgirl and all that
Yeah.
stuff, as hard as that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not as much of an Avengers guy, but I think X-Men is my favorite superhero thing. At least right now. I mean,
Austin says it's also tough because if you delete DC from history, then Marvel wouldn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but when he says Thanos snap, it doesn't get rid of everything going all the way back. If we're talking about, do you see what I'm saying?
okay, well then that just means who would you rather make more future content?
Yeah, like
I guess
he didn't
DC.
say Spider-Man Mephisto.
Right. He meant Thanos.
See, I wasn't thinking of it like that. I wasn't thinking like it never existed. I'm thinking just you lose it now.
So
well,
then definitely
okay,
Marvel.
no, sorry, because I did say like history of superhero movies gets weird. I guess I was sort of thinking both when I said that, but it's so yeah, if you lose the history of all of it going all the way back, it is harder to lose Marvel, but I still would probably end up picking that.
If you're going with like the future, I would get rid of Marvel in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather find out what Gunn's doing than what they're doing with Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I want a clean slate with that anyway.
Yeah.
And like we already have had good Marvel.
Yeah.
So if we had to stop now and never get any more,
This is the time.
I'm more
Honestly,
okay
5 years
with
ago was the time. But
with never getting any more with that than DC because DC has all these characters that have never had good movies, even if they've had movies, or have never gotten the definitive take I'd like to see, or anything close to it. Even if you like Aquaman, you could do a more off the page Aquaman. I almost said even if you like the Flash, but that's like, not a lot of people.
The Flash, like the movie? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving right along.
Let's do Austin's.
Okay, here comes Austin's.
Would you rather see your favorite supervillain become a hero or your favorite superhero become bad?
And of course, a lot of my favorite characters we've done this with, both with villains and heroes.
Yeah.
Whenever we make Batman a straight up bad guy, I tend not to like it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that done super well. Like, I like Batman who laughs more than some people, but it, like, when you say favorite, I guess besides the Tick, Batman is my favorite superhero. And like a bad Tick would be kind of interesting. I don't even know what that looks like.
It'd be better than that friggin' Arthur episode.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever done that.
No.
I mean, maybe there's a comic somewhere I haven't read
Maybe.
that does it, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then
We've only had Barry, if that counts.
yeah, and like when we do it with Spider-Man with Venom, that's it. That's interesting. And then with, I'm just thinking like some of my favorite heroes because there's history and precedent for a lot of these, right? So you don't even have to go off of just guesswork of like what it might look like. A lot of it we've just done, right? We've had, say, not that this is like my absolute favorite villain, but we've done. Oh, and I guess we've done that too. Sorry, we've done Magneto as kind of a hero, of course, back and forth. And that's always interesting. So I guess it just depends on who the character is. So,
Yeah.
like when you say when Austin says your favorite hero or villain, you kind of have to look at the specific ones, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, as opposed to just is it more interesting to see heroes go good, go bad, or bad guys go good? Now, more generalized, would you have an answer for that? Like, which of those is more
Good guys
interesting generally? Good guys going bad or bad guys going good?
I'm gonna say good guys going bad. Because my favorite that's
so the tragic fall as opposed to the redemption.
yeah, that's the main reason I like, and people are gonna disagree with me on this, but that's the main reason I like Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Because I think that works.
I think you're right. And I think it's harder to go the other way because a lot of the time we talk about this a lot, but it's the anti-hero thing where a character becomes too popular and now we have to sanitize them so that, or we feel like we have to sanitize them so they can carry their own stories.
Yes.
So we do this with Venom, and we do this with Harley Quinn, and we do this with Deadpool, and
Yeah, what the heck happened with Harley Quinn?
et cetera, et cetera. Not that Deadpool was ever a straight-up villain, but he has to be more sympathetic in things, especially the movies, because he's popular. And people have to relate to him in some way, even though the whole point initially was that you can't. But anyway, and then hilariously, Galactus we've done this with.
Huh?
Yeah, the Orange Lifebringer Galactus, where instead of destroying planets, he's basically like Genesis from Wrath of Khan, and he makes dead planets come alive.
He's orange?
Yes, he's orange. And I hated that idea at first, and then I read it, and I kind of dug it. That was Ultimate Squared.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was.
That is a terrible name for anything.
Yeah, and that whole thing was weird because it wasn't even in the Ultimates universe, but in the Ultimate universe because that was already gone by then. But yeah, anyway, Austin, interesting question. He says he's been reading a lot of Thunderbolt, so it's been on his mind. That makes sense.
Wow.
Well, let's keep going.
Unless
you wanted to answer that with any specific characters, sorry.
I think it would be cool to see a bad guy Gambit.
I'm sure we've done that somewhere.
Probably.
Well, and
also
Gambit,
Joker Gambit would be awesome.
And to be fair, Gambit has been in that anti-hero territory, of course, because he's such a roguelike character.
Yes.
Which is funny to say because he dates
very
Rogue,
funny.
but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But he's that like, can you trust him? Can you not? Kind of character when you first meet him.
Yeah, I don't know what
he's like a Han Solo type.
favorite bad guy in superheroes is. I don't actually know.
Well.
Yeah.
Is it a Batman villain? Is it a Spider-Man
Riddler
villain
or something? It's definitely not a Spider-Man villain.
Is it an X-Men villain?
It might be.
Who would your favorite X-Men villain be?
I mean, it's probably just Magneto. I mean,
Magneto,
Juggernaut, but
Right.
I mean, I do like Juggernaut.
Okay, well then we know who your favorite villain is.
Yeah,
It's
we-
Juggernaut.
so-
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want Juggernaut to turn good though, because whenever that kind of happens, it's weird. So that happens a little bit.
Yeah, we've definitely done that. All right, moving right along.
We have
Good
a
question,
Would
Austin.
you rather from One Reply. This is a complicated one.
Oh boy, here we go. Strap in, folks. Take notes.
Would you rather witness Charles Xavier abandon his dream of peaceful coexistence between mutants and humans, or see Jean-Luc Picard renounce diplomacy and peaceful exploration in favor of a preemptive military / Section 31-like strategy as Starfleet's new standard?
So basically what you're saying is, which franchise would I rather like to see tanked by ruining my favorite character in said franchise, played by Patrick Stewart?
Yes.
That's the question. Okay. I can live with X-Men being ruined in that way more than I can see it with Star Trek, because I've seen it with Star Trek, and my eyes will never heal. So I mean, I've sort of seen it with Star, New Trek certainly. You could argue that Picard sort of does that in Picard. I just kind of look at it as he's a completely different character, and I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. But we also have seen Xavier give up, or at least half give up, where he gets more cynical and says, okay, maybe like in comics, the Hickman run kind of does this. and I haven't read a lot of that, but the start of it is we start going more in Magneto's direction, where he doesn't look at mutants as superior to the rest of humanity, and he's not trying to take them over, but he's now more down with take all the mutants off into their own space, and not trying to peacefully cohabitate anymore because it just hasn't been working. And that's sad, and it's interesting to see him get to that place. I wouldn't want him to stay there, certainly, and I don't know where all that eventually went. But I guess what I'm saying is, when I started, I said, which of these universes am I more okay with seeing tanked that way? I think you are tanking that with Star Trek in a way that you're not necessarily with X-Men. Like, Xavier can be morally ambiguous in a way I have a really hard time seeing Picard being. You can make anything work. So, I mean, you could see him written into that place where he starts to question his principles and, Starfleet Prime Directive, et cetera. But going all the way to... he's cool with a military state, and Section 31 is in charge. I don't even say how you get him there, unless you're like, at that point you're making almost like a what if kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're going into injustice sort of territory.
Yeah. So I kind of disagree with you on this. I think the whole point of X-Men is Xavier versus Magneto's thoughts on mutant versus human politics.
Yeah.
And I think without that, X-Men is just kind of bland.
Yeah, you haven't read the Hickman stuff. It's really interesting, but...
Yeah, and obviously there are other stories than that, but I think that's, like, the best stuff in X-Men that I've seen.
Sure.
And also, I would love to see a TNG, like, mirror universe story, and that's what that would be. So, or, like, a series of TNG mirror universe.
Right, but now you're cheating, because I'm fine with either of these ideas as alternate reality stories.
Sure. I guess.
But if you're talking about main canon, which of these things am I more okay with seeing that kind of tragic fall?
Sure.
It's, for me, definitely not Picard.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm also just sore and my feelings are hurt over what New Trek did with him and what it did with Section 31 and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I also see Xavier as a more morally ambiguous character who is certainly most of the time stubborn about that. But I guess I could see him having his mind changed more than I could see Picard having his mind changed.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, you want to do another Would You Rather?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's the show heading tonight, Jason. So we should try.
Would you rather?
As many of these as we can.
It's down there. That's what it says. If you can read, then that's what that says.
Yep.
We have a Would You Rather from Brandon. Would you rather...
Brandon?
Yes.
Brandon. Oh, Brandon put one in.
Would you rather...
Like Brandon?
Like Brandon
Grimm Brandon?
Yes, Brandon
okay.
Grimm
All right, sweet.
Yes. Would you rather be thrust into an electronic computer environment a la Tron...
Ooh,
or
the Matrix?
Or have Transformers...
Oh, like a computer-like,
yes.
So maybe not. Maybe...
Yeah.
Okay.
An electronic computer environment, so... it would be more like Tron, I guess. Yeah.
Or Reboot.
Yes. Or have Transformers be real exactly like the Michael Bay movies.
This is from Brandon?
Yes.
This is a great question. I'm surprised he went to Transformers.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tron.
I think so too. Yeah. Austin said Transformers.
Well, yes, but Austin's obsessed with Transformers. So, I'm going to give you my stock Transformers answer. I don't like humans in my Transformers. I want Transformers to always be just the Transformers. And likewise, if I lived in a world with them, I would just worry about getting stepped on. Like, I don't think it would be any fun to live in the same world as Transformers.
Yeah.
Like, even palling around with them and stuff, I just feel like they're always at war. You're gonna get crushed. You're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that if I go into a computer-like environment, I can eventually come back.
Right.
because that usually happens in those kinds of things, you know.
Yeah.
And
Although, by the way, Tron is like the most boring movie.
So
I
you
just
have no
wanna
interest
say,
in Ares?
I think the idea is really cool. I think it's not a good movie. Like, the way they do it is just not.
You don't think the story execution is
Yeah,
good?
I don't think the execution is
I
good.
think Tron's a gigantic mixed bag. That is the longest, like, hour and a half, hour 45.
Yeah, how is it that short? It's not.
It's not even 2 hours, I don't think, and it's ridiculous how long it feels. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way and push back on anybody that says Tron is long and boring. But like, even as a kid, I thought it was hard to follow. Now I think it's hard to follow. But I do think it's more watchable as an adult than it was when I was a kid. So weirdly, Tron holds up for me better now than it did when I was like 9 or 10.
I see.
And there are performances in that certainly carry me through. Because I love David Warner, is a lot of it, and that's brilliant casting for that bad guy. By the way, I have not, and then of course it's a technical showcase, but you don't want it to just be that. I don't think it is just that, but I do wish it was paced a little better. But anyway, I have not watched the trailer yet for Ares. I looked at the first few seconds of it, and then something came up, and I forgot to go back to it.
Yeah.
But premise-wise, it looks fascinating. Because the start of it, it looked like we had light cycles in the real world somehow, and I don't know what's going on with that. But it looks really stylish and interesting. I just haven't watched that whole trailer yet, so
Yeah.
I will try to get back to you guys on that if it comes up again.
All right, another would you rather. Would you rather? This is from Christian Ogden.
Thanks, man.
Would you rather have nothing but Matt Reeves Batman related content that is always awesome,
Okay.
or the James Gunn DCU, but there's always a third chance you don't like the movie or show?
In this situation, am I with the second option? Am I giving up Matt Reeves' universe,
Yes.
or do I get both?
No, I think I don't know, but I'm gonna say you get rid of.
If I have to give up the bat, as much as it sucks that it's taking so long before we can get a sequel. We did get Penguin, and it was wonderful. I would. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say, if it means we don't get any more of that, and I have to take a big chance on Batman being any good in DCU, I wanted to say I would give that up to get the rest of Matt Reeves and still live in that world.
That's what I would say.
The problem with that is I don't want a DC shared universe without Batman. Especially if it means, because that's what that would mean, right?
If you did what now? I feel like both of them would have Batman, right?
Am I misunderstanding the question?
Would you rather have nothing but Batman, but Matt Reeves Batman related content,
Right.
or James Gunn DCU? He doesn't say anything about if there's a Batman in James Gunn DCU.
Right, but we were talking about it like you would lose Matt Reeves for the other one, so I assumed you were losing Batman in DCU at all with the first one. Is that not what's happening?
You would be losing
I don't understand the would you rather on this, I guess.
So you would be losing the DCU.
Oh, the whole DCU.
Yeah, but you would get the Matt Reeves verse.
Read it again.
Yeah, would you rather have nothing but Matt Reeves Batman related content that is always awesome?
Right.
Or the James Gunn DCU, but there's always a third chance you don't like the movie or show?
Oh, okay. I thought he meant Batman in the DCU. My apologies.
No.
I misheard that. Okay. Then yeah, I would definitely take the Batman. But then that's weird because I gotta see what it's gonna look like before I say this, right? Because you could be, and I think you're likely to be giving up a bunch of good movies made by a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
So like, that's rough. And like Superman hasn't come out yet.
But 1 out of 3 of them are good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. That's the biggest stumper of the night so far. Let me throw in a loophole response and say, if the movies, ignore the Penguin, if the movies on Matt Reeves' side come out at the rate they've been going, I would have to sadly take the chance on Batman not being what I wanted DCU, and the movies not necessarily always being good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sorry, it took me a minute to understand what he was getting at there.
Okay. And then we'll go back to a Geekvolution person related one. We have a Would You Rather from Ty, the drawer guy.
Yeah, thanks, Ty. Yeah, I got a few today from folks that have worked with us on the channel.
Yeah. And then just randomly got Brandon.
Well, I sent it to him too, but I hadn't heard back from him yet.
Ah, I see. Would you rather?
Yeah.
This is long. Would you rather lose the ability to watch any movie released in the past, present, or future except for your current favorites for the rest of your life?
Slow down.
Or
okay, go ahead.
lose the ability to watch any of your current favorite films for the rest of your life, but be left free to watch any other movie ever released or to be released and form new favorites that you can watch without restriction forever. So
I think my brain just melted.
it's either you pick your favorite movies and then every other movie you can't watch, or every other movie you can watch, but you can never watch your favorite movies.
I am at that age where I cannot help but go with the first thing.
Yeah.
I've lived enough life and I've seen enough good stuff that, and I know it bothers some people when I say this, but like I know I will see more great new things in my lifetime that I don't know how I lived without. But where I'm at right now, I'm not starved for anything in any genre. I don't know if that makes sense,
No,
but like
yeah, no,
I'm
does.
open to greatness. I'm not starving for anything. I like the world could end right now, and I would feel pretty satisfied with the great quality stuff and all of the genres I like that I've watched over the years. But I'm 40. This might have been a different response if I was when I was 20.
Yeah.
And before we had, very many really great superhero movies. Some of my favorite science fiction movies were made after I got out of high school.
The Founder.
That's not a science fiction movie.
Yes, but it is.
But yes, you got,
not in one of those categories that is
some
one
of
your
my
favorite movies.
I just needed to say that because somebody else was going to.
Yes.
Because the way you dropped that in was weird. But anyway. I like a lot of biopics now. I've kind of. It's weird to feel like you've seen enough, but I'm in this place where even when people say, and some of it is lifestyle and stage of life and all of that, right? Like, I don't mean to always fall back on this as an excuse with things, but I've got different priorities these days, right? So I still love the pop culture stuff. I still love talking about what we talk about on the channel, but I've got a lot of kids and I've got a house to run and like I've got other priorities, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm in a place where when people go, Cap, you've got to watch this amazing thing, I don't rush anymore. I'm like, I'm kind of good, but hopefully at some point I'll have a chance to sit down and look at that. You know what I mean? I have stopped watching shows that I really liked just because I kind of forgot about them. Like the second season of Last of Us just started. I never finished that first season, and I was liking it. I mean, it's really good. I've gotten messages from a few people that are like, Cap, why haven't you finished Last of Us yet? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't even answer that. Things can be great, and I lose interest because I don't need them. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of where I'm at these days. Sometimes I think if I wasn't running the channel, I would watch more stuff because I don't have to review it. And I think what is actually what would be more likely to happen is I would watch even less stuff than I do. And because I've got the channel, I look at any of this stuff at all anymore, right? Like, or maybe after a while I would like really miss it and I would start looking at stuff again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been like, again, I still love this stuff, but I've got little enough free time that I find myself going, I kind of want to look at more nonfiction stuff, and I need to start reading, reading more often and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I think it really depends on how many favorite things are allowed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like,
sure. Just what does favorite mean?
Yeah.
If he's talking about 10 things,
Yeah.
there's not just the entire library of anything I've ever flipped green on.
Right. Yeah. Because I have a lot of favorite movies that I like to go back to. So if I can only pick between that like library of like that like bookshelf of my favorite movies, then I guess I'll do that. But I also know there are lots of great movies that I have not seen yet, that I would really like to see. I think a better question would be, would you rather only be able to go back to and watch the movies that you've already seen, or not be able to see anything that you've already seen and watch only other things? I think that's also interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy question time.
Yeah.
Let's do at least one more before the break.
Okay.
I feel like that was the most old man response I could have possibly given to that.
We have another would you rather from one reply.
Yeah.
Would you rather be forced to have a permanent fifth member of the Ninja Turtles or have a permanent fourth Powerpuff Girl?
Okay, what did I say was the best question at the start of this?
Brandon's?
No, there was one before that. Brandon's question was really good.
Sorry, no. It was
But there was one toward the beginning of the show where I was like, this is amazing. This one's tied. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Somehow I've never heard, nobody's ever asked that. That's amazing. Well, we've had a lot of first-time questions tonight, but I'm shocked nobody's ever asked that.
Yeah.
That is almost unanswerable. I don't want either of those things.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was permanent smile or permanent Bane voice.
Yes, that was great. Ninja Turtles, a fifth wheel just has never really worked. Mm-hmm. It especially didn't work in IDW, but it especially didn't work in Next Mutation.
Oh, yes.
And it's not because it was a girl, necessarily. It's just... Can you make that work? Like, maybe.
I feel like you'd have to add a fifth word to the name of the
That's really funny. Yeah, like especially making it permanent.
Yeah.
You know? That is... Because with both of these things, you could argue that they're developed in a way... Like from their inception, both the Ninja Turtles and the Powerpuff Girls are like a single unit where each of the individuals represent an aspect of somebody's personality or psyche or something, right? And it's hard to add anything to that. Mm-hmm. The Powerpuff Girls have that more than the Ninja Turtles, where they're in the best, most dramatic stories, interpretations of Ninja Turtles. They are each full, especially IDW. They're each, but not at all Next Mutation. They are each well realized, fully developed characters on their own. And the Powerpuff Girls are archetypes. Mm-hmm. And they very much are one person when you put the three together. But the Ninja Turtles you can kind of look at that way. And if you what would you add?
Right.
Like what is the personality aspect that is missing? Because Powerpuff Girls you can look at as almost like id, ego, super ego. Like you can almost go Freudian with it, which is interesting.
Here's the thing. I think, because I didn't even think about this until now. Each of the Powerpuff Girls corresponds to each of the Ninja Turtles. So if you add a fourth one that's the Donatello Brainy type.
You're right, that's who we're missing.
Yeah, because
so in that
Buttercup
way,
is Raphael and Bubbles is kind of Michelangelo.
And Blossom is very Leonardo.
Yeah.
I've never had that thought either.
Yeah.
I don't think. That's great.
So you just have a brainy Powerpuff
So
Girl.
at least the easiest one to add, because I was leaning actually toward Powerpuff Girls as the answer, where like, it seemed harder for me to imagine adding anything to that trio that would add anything.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, the professor is kind of the brainy character in
substance.
that show, but he's not a Powerpuff Girl.
But you're right. If he's the fourth Powerpuff Girl, that's true. He is basically Donatello, and then you get into like the Powerpuff episode where he tries to be a Powerpuff Girl. Sort of.
That's a great episode.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's a really insightful response there, Jason.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Powerpuff Girls.
Boy, I think you're technically right as far as if you were going to write the stories, which one would be easier to do. Mm-hmm. I still guess I don't know. I was going to say I guess I'd rather see it still attempted with Ninja Turtles than Powerpuff Girls, but like it's never been done well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I guess you're right. I think you've won me over on this. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And we don't have a yellow Powerpuff Girl, so.
Well, no, that's what Princess tried to be.
Oh yeah, that's true.
See, she comes in and says, "You have to make me a Powerpuff Girl."
So it'd have to be purple.
Yeah, and what's
like Donatello.
And what's interesting is she comes in without superpowers, and she's not brainy, but she adds gadgetry.
Yeah. Yep.
So as attempting to be the you're right. It's like the show was aware of the aspect it was missing, at least superficially.
Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a break now.
Take a break.
When we come back, don't nobody go nowhere because we are going to look at a clip of Superhero Rewind the movie when we come back. And that'll be the very first thing we do. We have not shown any clips yet. We probably won't do more than a couple, 3 before the movie comes out. But I've made you guys wait a week and a half to get more content on the channel, so I figure I'll show you a little bit of what I'm working on, and a very little bit of what I'm working on. And I should also say everything we show you guys is subject to change. Like nothing's totally finished yet. Like even with the clip I'm going to show you, there's a couple of audio blemishes that we'll probably fix. Like it's not done, but it will look sort of done.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will be back in 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll show you the clip. Jason's got a segment, and then we will do a short second part of Would You Rather after that, because we've still got more of them, and we've got a segment at the end. Unless we get enough Q&A, we just don't get to it.
Yeah, and I have plenty more.
See you guys in just a couple of minutes. Hey everybody, we are back. It's time for the second half of tonight's Captain Logan show. And as promised, right now I'm going to show you guys a clip from Superhero Rewind, the movie. This is pretty early on in the film. And for folks that haven't been keeping up, and first of all, maybe shut off the stream for the next 5 minutes or so if you don't want anything at all about the movie spoiled. For those of you that are curious, want to see something from the movie, and haven't heard us talk about this, or haven't seen trailers or anything, the premise of this is actually going to become pretty clear just from this clip. But we are making a time travel movie in which a 60-year-old Captain Logan from the year 2044 goes back in time to try to stop himself from making the YouTube channel because he feels his life has been ruined by a future of horrible superhero movies that he continues to review and waste his time with, and it has ruined his entire life. Or at least that's what he blames his life on.
Yes.
And Jason, anything else you want to say to set this up before we play it?
I don't actually know exactly what this clip is, so I'm gonna do the Nintendo Direct thing, and I'm gonna be like, please take a look.
All right, here we go. Okay. Brandon, I need your help.
Well, Cap, you know I'll do anything for you.
I need a time machine.
And anything except for that.
I know you haven't. You, Dan Torrey, and Doomsvins developed it in a harebrained scheme to go back in time and stop me from going through Spawn Year. Because you thought reviewing 365 days of Spawn paraphernalia and then making a web series about it made me psychotic. You thought I'd do something crazy, like make a clone army of myself to review every piece of media known to man. Yeah, Doomsvins told me everything. Look, I can't be like this. I have to go back.
I'm not confirming or denying any of what you just said, but if that was true, it sounds like those worries were justified. Listen to yourself.
Well, if you thought I was so unhinged, why did you abandon the project?
Hey, I'm not saying there ever was a project.
Should we go talk to Doomsvins?
Fine, okay, yes, there is a time machine. Dan worked out the science, I designed it, and Doomsvins built it. But we decided that trying to preempt any crazy plan on your part would be equally as dangerous as anything you might actually try. Well, Dan and I decided that. If it hadn't been for Doomsvince's accident, he might have stolen the whole thing and done it himself.
It's weird that Doomsvins would be that adamant about erasing Spawn Year from history. That was his masterstroke. Although he probably did drive me insane with that, I'm not gonna lie.
I just think he hated the idea of your opinion flooding the internet about everything there is.
And there you go. There's a clip. Good job, Jason. Jason filmed some of that section.
I did.
Or maybe you filmed most of that section.
I filmed all of that section.
Music by Wendell Jones. He's doing an incredible job with the score. I wanted to pick something where you guys could hear some of the music that we're working on.
Yeah.
What are folks saying in the comments?
Well, Mutala asks, is Brandon gonna give Cap the blue or red pill?
Yes, it is. This part of the movie, anyway, is very green.
Yes. Very green.
That it's a stylistic choice.
Yes. Austin says
There's a reason for that.
you guys are in the Matrix sequels.
Yes. We absolutely are. Dan's Den Cap sure loves his over-explanatory dialogue.
Yep.
Well, I mean, some of that's necessary to catch us up. I tried to be, as I'm a gigantic hypocrite, okay? Because I complain about forced exposition and dialogue all the time. I I don't know how much of what I've got is forced. It is very expository. But
It's also
Brandon
maybe
is
making
explaining
fun of it a bit.
It is, and also, I mean, in that particular scene, like, Brandon is telling me stuff I don't know.
And also, Brandon explains things.
He
Like,
does.
sorry, Brandon, but you explain things a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Like
so
that.
It's
So,
it is certainly in character.
Yeah.
For Brandon, absolutely. Brandon says, Dan, it's a movie about reviewing. Yeah, there's that too. So I mean, there's a lot of reviewing and reviewing-esque dialogue in the movie. Certainly, it's also a movie written by a person that is spent more time now writing reviews than writing fiction, and that certainly creeps in.
Sure.
That was more of a problem in my last novel than I think it is with this, just because of what this is. But anyway,
Victor
not to be
Vermont
defensive about it or
says,
anything.
you know, I could legitimately see Brandon building a time machine.
Yeah, right? Totally buy it. Wait till you see where the time machine is.
Yeah.
Where he gets it from. Anyway, Jason, let's get back into... Oh, I'm sorry. We'll do the would you rathers here in a little bit. We'll do a second part of that.
Yeah.
But first, Jason is going to regale us with a new segment, with a new Next Generation
With my
segment. And go ahead, right ahead, Jason.
So I've had this segment for a couple weeks, but obviously, you know, we took a break, and I decided to wait and do my segment on the Switch 2 news the week before. So I've had this for a couple weeks, but Dad, it's time for your favorite thing.
Oh no,
You ready for trivia?
No, I'm not. I was not remotely prepared for this. Okay.
So we're doing a new category this time.
What's the topic?
The topic is something that's been on my mind for a while.
I'm scared.
Recently.
What is my... Hold on. What is my record right now?
Your record?
Yeah.
I think it's like 6 or 7 out of like 13.
Yeah,
Which
because
wasn't bad.
to be fair, you do different numbers.
Yeah.
Of them certainly, but yeah, I think I did one.
This
more
time it's only 10. I
did
think.
a little bit better than
and
half.
it's easier than normal.
But my average is probably like 4.
So this time the trivia is about a thing that's been on my mind recently, and that is, of course, the musical band They Might Be Giants.
Oh wow!
So I've done a whole trivia about They Might Be Giants.
Apologies, everybody, because nobody's gonna care about
yeah,
this.
but we do some TMBG things on the channel.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know, it's okay to do this.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can do anything you want to, but it fits in the realm of geeky things.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's geeky.
Totally cool. So Team BG, They Might Be Giants. It's my and Jason's favorite band. Jason has become a gigantic Team BG enthusiast, and he knows a lot more than I do at this point, which is a thing I never thought I would say. He makes me look like a really casual Team BG fan, which bothers me, because I used to think I was a mega fan, and I'm not, apparently, because there's nothing hardly that I know Jason does at this point. There's all kinds of stuff Jason knows that I don't. And Jason has become really active in the Team BG wiki community. He's one of the main writers for that now, and he works with those guys really closely. And he's also doing his own monthly internet zine.
Yeah.
For that wiki, and it's wonderful. If you care at all about TVG, go look at the articles Jason's writing. They're great.
This might be a zine on this might be a wiki. Monthly issues about news and community polls and interviews with people related to TMBG and just random things. Very cool things.
Jason has interacted briefly a few times now with John Flansburgh online, which is really neat. And you recently interviewed the guy doing, what was it, art for ABCs and stuff? Or
no, I recently did an interview.
You talked about.
I recently did an interview with the guy who did a lot of music videos through the late 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah, I knew you did that too. Yeah.
So he did. He basically created the Science Johns and like the Thinking Machine music video and a lot of the other kind of like flat style ones, like animated videos. Like, let me tell you about my operation in music jail and stuff like that.
So a gigantic hobby
Yes.
for Jason, and it's a thing that I got him into, and that he and I have been done together for a long time, and we have our own Team BG cover band, and we played some music on the show from that.
Yes.
Anyway,
Okay, so your first question is,
all right, here we go.
what year was They Might Be Giants' first show?
Oh boy. So I'm assuming they must have played something before their first album came out. I'd be surprised if that wasn't the case. First album is 86, but they were putting out stuff as early as 82 or 83, I think. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say their first show was 83.
It was 82.
Oh man, I was so close. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. 1982. The Sandista rally. Very historical event for the They Might Be Giants.
Okay, moving right along.
Name a They Might Be Giants song with a number in the title that is not from the album Here Come the 1-2-3s.
I can't say 7. I can't say Apartment 4. See, now just 8, 1, 2, 3s is all that's coming to me. I'm so on the spot right now. Can I come back to this one? Let me think. I'm not even sure how many there are.
Actually, quite a few.
This is a really great question, but I'm blanking real quick. I'm also a little bit nervous because I wasn't expecting this category, and I'm having to do this in front of people that mostly probably have no idea what we're talking about. So anyway, I will stop stalling and try to think of something. Let me go through some. Number 3.
Number 3. Yep, that's kind of the easy one.
Pink Album.
Yes. There's also 9 Secret Steps off of Nanobots was the first one I came up with.
Oh, sure.
What was They Might Be Giants' first song on their first studio album?
Everything Right Is Wrong Again.
Yes. Okay, question 4.
Yeah.
Why does the sun really shine?
Because it is a miasma of incandescent plasma.
Yes.
Is that
correct.
the correct answer? Plasma.
Okay. Question number 5.
Apologies if this is not entertaining to
What
anyone.
is the longest period of time between studio album releases?
Wow. Because Team BG is really prolific, and they typically put out an album every couple of years at least. And there have been times where it's like consecutive years, I think. Let me think for a second. So 04 to 07 is Spine and Else. Is there a place where we've got more than 3 years? It might be.
But also you had ABCs in between there.
Oh, if you're counting the
Yes.
kids' records. Okay. Then let me think for a second. Is it much more recently? Is it possible that it's between I Like Fun and Book?
Yeah, that's
Is it?
correct. That's
Okay.
correct. Yep.
Was
And
that
then
3 or 4 years?
It was 3 years.
Okay.
And something months.
Look at me.
But the longest will have been Book and album 24.
Book to now. Yep.
So when album 24 comes out, we'll say, yeah, that's the longest period of time.
Now, we would have had a much longer period if they hadn't put together all those Dial songs into Glean and Y and stuff. Or not-
Yeah.
Glean, yeah.
Glean and Y and Phone Power.
And
And
Phone-
then
yeah.
I Like Fun, My Murder Remains, and Escape Team.
Because a lot of those weren't really written to be in albums. The albums kind of become compilations of that stuff,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along.
Number 6.
Everybody's just talking amongst themselves in the comments.
Finish the lyrics.
Oh,
All are
Lord.
irresistibly directed by the suction of a hypnotizing tractor beam presenting a production.
So when we perform this, I need to memorize this song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always having to read a lyric sheet. I never remember. Yeah, it's of something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste everybody's time. I'm not gonna come up with it fast enough.
The answer is of the Sleep of Reason Corporation in association with the Bee of the Bird of the
Yeah, I
Moon.
never had that memorized. Yeah. That's a tough scheme.
It
to
is.
me to keep
It's a
in my
lot
head.
of it. It's a lot of
Tough.
it.
All right, go ahead.
How many fingertips are there?
Oh God. See, I'd have to like sit here and count. And again, I just don't want to waste everybody's time.
Sure.
Is it like 11 or 12?
It's more than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like 19?
A little bit more than that.
Oh, what is it?
21.
Is it that many?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
It's crazy. What is the name of John Flansburgh's other band active from 1995 to 1998?
Well, that would be that band that you've listened to a lot more than I have, which is Monopov.
Yeah. I love Monopov. I like Unsupervised. It's fun to steal. It's weird, but, you know. All right. Name 3 historical figures that have been referenced in TMBG songs.
Oh, sure. So that would be Edison. Let's go Edison and Tesla, shall we?
Sure.
And then
Tesla.
Tesla sucks. Edison Museum's a good song. Tesla's not a good song. And then we'll go. So we'll do those related. I'll give you 4. We'll do those related characters, and then we'll do James K. Polk and James Ensor.
Sure.
Got a couple of Jameses there too.
Yes. Okay.
Are we almost done?
We have one more.
This is the last one.
From 1998 to 2004, the backing band of TMBG consisted of 3 people
man.
named Dan.
Yep.
What were the full names of each of these Dans?
Yeah, and they lost one. They've kept 2 of them.
Yep.
It was Danny Weinkauf, who's still there.
Yep.
Dan Miller, who is still there.
He's the drummer.
And I don't know if I remember the other guy's last name anymore. Because now it's Marty Beller.
Yes.
Marty Beller's the guy that replaced the other
Whitney
Dan.
Houston on the drums.
Right, yeah. He's wearing his Marty Beller mask. And Dan said to Dan, I think we make a left at the light. So it's Danny Weinkauf, it's Dan Miller, and it's Dan. I don't remember it anymore. I must have known this at some time. What
That
is it?
is Dan Hickey.
Oh, that's right, Dan Hickey.
Yeah, Dan Hickey.
If I'd thought about it long enough, I would have come up with it.
Yeah.
I was a little non-committal with this because I didn't want to sit here too long,
Sure.
and dead air, and waste everybody's time.
Sure.
Because no one cares about this. But anyway, really good quiz though.
Yeah. And thanks to some of the people in the TMBG Discord for helping me come up with some questions as well.
I was going to ask you if you gave them that quiz.
No. Well, they would have gotten... I would have had
They
to
would have
make
known
every
all of it.
question way
Like,
harder.
way harder.
Like, way harder.
Okay, let's go ahead and do some more Would You Rather, shall we?
Yes. All right.
Throw me anything, and let me also say, sorry, before we continue, to folks that maybe came in late, we are doing a Super Chat goal tonight, and we have had a few Super Chats. The winner right now almost certainly is Tim Drake, right? Who in total has put in $25 of Super Chats. Hot Soup had a $5 Super Chat. Mutali's put in a few, but he probably hasn't reached that yet. So anyway, if you would like to try to compete for the Super Chat winner tonight, I am going to make a video message, a private video message. I don't know what it'll be about yet. It'll just be something fun, 5 or 10 minutes. Just me talking to you, and I will send it to you as an unlisted video. Whoever wins that is going to need to send me an email address. My email, and I will put it in the chat here, is CaptainLogan1989@gmail.com. CaptainLogan1989@gmail.com. And if you win, if you don't win, you can send me a nice note anyway if you feel like it. But if you don't spam me with things, if you win the Super Chat goal tonight, that's how you can reach me, and I will make a video message for you sometime within the next week. Okay. Give me a Would You Rather, Jason.
We have a Would You Rather from Mutale. Would you rather be doused by cosmic or gamma rays?
That's a classic. That's a classic Would You Rather. I don't know if we've ever gotten this one. That is a classic, like, consummate kind of Would You Rather, right?
Yes.
It kind of comes down to, would you rather have your dark side manifest as a Hulk, or have a 1 in 4 shot of getting the crappier Fantastic Four power.
Yeah. Yep.
It's also possible cosmic rays could do even different things to you than just the 4. Like, there were 4 people there. They all got different powers. Who knows what you might wind up with? Has this ever occurred to you? Cosmic rays are kryptonite from Smallville. Just freaking anything could happen to you.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with that. I think I'd rather take my chances like Resurrection Man.
Yeah,
you know,
because
he dies,
you know exactly
comes
what
back,
you're going to get with
who
gamma
knows?
rays.
Yeah, and that's never fun.
Right. Yeah.
The Hulk is an interesting character. I wouldn't want to be the Hulk.
Right.
It's a great question, but I think it's kind of easy. For me, anyway.
We have another one from Motale, and
Yeah.
he has another one kind of like this. Would you rather be a psychopath or a cannibal?
Wow, I mean, it'd be pretty, you know... I think a lot of cannibals would end up being psychopaths in the first place.
Yeah.
That's such a weird question. Because if I'm a cannibal but I'm not a psychopath, it means that I'm eating people without being nuts. So I'm assuming that the only reason... I'm going to overthink this on purpose. I'm assuming the only reason I'm eating people is for survival. I've got no other choice.
Yeah.
And if I'm crazy, I probably don't realize I'm crazy, so I can live in a more, like, blissful sort of place. The other thing is, there are lots of levels... Not to get too into the psychology of this and take it too seriously, but there are different levels of psychopathy. Like, there's, like, fully functioning... quote-unquote psychopaths that aren't murderers,
Right.
or you know, people that are horribly, insanely taking advantage of people.
Are
Right?
there different
Like,
levels of cannibals?
no, not really. If you're eating flesh, like human flesh, you're eating human flesh. So I guess I go with psychopath because I don't even know what extreme I'm at. But if you mean like Joker level psychopath, I couldn't even like. I don't know how to go to the utilitarian place with this. Is the body count higher or lower? I don't know. It depends on, like, if I'm a cannibal. So if I'm a psychopath, what level of psychopath am I at? If I'm a cannibal, can I eat other things, or am I only eating people? Because if I'm only eating people, then the body count is probably higher or around the same as it is if you're a Joker level psychopath.
Yes.
I really enjoyed answering that question.
Let's do a pre-written one. This is from John Henry. Would you rather live in a cardboard box on the side of the road, or
like Mojo Jojo and the Powerpuff Girls
or
movie?
live with someone that plays Son of the Mask on your only TV in your kitchen on repeat every day?
I knew Son of the Mask was coming up at some point. Cardboard box. Next question.
This is from
It's got to be the cardboard
this
box.
is from Mutale. Would you rather the superhero rewind movie be a $1 billion hit at the box office or an Oscar winner?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'd set my family up for life, so I guess I gotta say money at the box office, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You know? Like
Also...
that would... I mean, it'd be nice to have the accolade, I guess. But even if I was a real honest-to-God filmmaker, I don't think I would be going... I mean, I wouldn't be going just to make money either. I would be going for the craft of it.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think you would be going for an Oscar.
No, I don't think a main goal would be get that kind of recognition.
Yeah. And then he says, also, would you rather write a Tick or Batman comic?
That's great. I think Batman would be easier. Which one would I rather do? Like, because I almost like the challenge of the Tick. I guess I'm gonna say the Tick, because I have spent more time thinking about what it would be like to attempt to channel Edlin and do that than I have writing Batman stories, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or at least on par, you know. But with Batman, you can do your own thing with it and put your own spin on it, and you can have lots of different Batman stories from even different kinds of tones and stuff, of course. But with the Tick, like, if you don't sound like Ben Edlin, you ain't doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Tick, besides just always being comedic, is the antithesis to Batman.
Yes.
In that, well, I say that because we talk about this all the time with like Batman and Ninja Turtles, that there's like 1,000,001 different ways to do those characters that are all still valid. The Tick doesn't have that, but there's like slight tweaks you can do, slight variations, right? So like the animated series and the Warburton show and the Serafinowicz show are all different takes on the same material, but they're all in Ben Edlund's voice, even though he's doing different things with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like the writer disappears with Batman, not so with Edlund. All right, moving right along. Or with
And
Dick,
that
I
was
guess I should
a
say.
super chat.
Oh, thanks for the super chat. I made it extra loud because I missed it.
And it's 2 questions in a super chat.
Oh, just in the super chat.
Just-
Okay.
just-
I retract that last gong.
Yeah, you can save it for this one. This is also from Mutale.
I'm probably still gonna hit it.
Would you rather? That's not how you spell would. Would you rather see Avengers 1 or Guardians 1 written and directed by Mark Steven Johnson?
That's friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Avengers would be funnier.
Yeah, it would.
Attempted by, but also I think he could pull it off better.
Yeah, no,
than
you
Guardians?
definitely would. You definitely would.
I don't think I would want to see Mark Steven Johnson attempt straight up comedy.
No, I agree.
Like, he takes the Daredevil and the Ghost Rider movie kind of oddly seriously, even though there's like comic elements in them, but some of the funniest stuff with those is stuff that I don't think was intended to be funny. Now, don't get me wrong, there's honest to God decent comedy in Daredevil, but let's face it, it's coming from Colin Farrell and it's coming from Jon Favreau
Yes.
before it's coming from the directing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I would want to see him attempt Guardians.
Yeah.
And that's forgetting the gun of it all. Like, let's take gun completely out of it and just go back to Abnett and Lanning, and we're going to adapt that, but Mark Steven Johnson is going to make it. I think he's got a better chance at a decent Avengers movie, or a half-decent Avengers movie.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good as what Whedon made, but that's more straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he showed in the 2000s that he could take a couple of Marvel heroes that aren't playing exactly in the same sandbox. They aren't too far away either, but like one's got a supernatural element and one doesn't. And he can make a, for the time, like decent, serious enough movie, but it's gonna be a little dated, and it's gonna have its silly elements certainly. Guardians is too specific.
Yeah.
I don't see him adapting Abnett and Lanning. That's a great question though.
Okay, he has
Love that.
another one in the super chat as well. Also, would you rather have 89 Joker or O2 Green Goblin as an arch enemy?
Real quick, Dan's Den says Mark Steven Johnson is now a Netflix rom-com guy. I didn't know that. We should watch a random romantic comedy from Mark Steven Johnson.
Yes.
Can we say How the Mighty Have Fallen? Can we say that?
No.
yeah,
How the fallen have fallen.
What? Wow.
No,
That's
kidding.
not fair.
I like Mark
That's
Steven
not
Johnson.
fair to Mark Steven Johnson.
I think he's funny bad.
I don't care if the man can't get his production team to get a background that doesn't have a giant seam running down the middle of it. Anyway.
So, would you rather have
Yeah.
89 Joker or O2 Green Goblin as an arch enemy?
Let's see. Which one would be easier to defeat? Is the question. I mean, I guess it would depend on your power set and whatever. And I hate to just degenerate into who would win in a fight, but like Joker has. Well, they both have a lot of resources. Joker's got like a whole mob behind him. We're talking about 89 Joker?
Yes.
Joker's got a whole mob behind him. And Green Goblin has a whole fortune behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got an experimental glider thing that he can shoot bombs at you with. But the Joker has a really long gun.
Yeah.
And gas that can kill
It
you.
goes like this.
Yeah, yes. And they both have issues with gas.
Yes.
So I didn't mean for that to be funny, but I guess it kind of was. Anyway, so I don't know what what would you say? I feel like they're kind of on par.
Yeah, I think they're kind of on par.
They're kind of on par.
I think I would rather have a 2002 Goblin as an archenemy, just because he's, I don't know, he was at least more fun before he was a villain.
Yeah. Well, and just like, which of them would be more fun to have as an arch nemesis? I guess it would be Green Goblin.
I think it would be more fun to have Joker as an archenemy, but you would get, like, beaten right away, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, Green Goblin goes off on his own very quickly, so, like, he's got a fortune, but he doesn't have, like, all those mobsters behind him. I at first wanted to answer it just purely, like, which of them would be harder to deal with. And I think that's Joker. Mm-hmm. I think. But, and they both have, like, great one-liners and memorable things that they're, like, lines that they're throwing at you. They're both gonna kidnap your girlfriend.
Yes, that's true.
They're both gonna sing irritating songs at you. Mm-hmm. You know, they're both gonna do all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're both freaking weird. And, like, I don't understand what either of them really wants. Like, they have a lot in common, those two. And you can see the 89 influence on that movie.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I'm something of a party man myself.
All right, moving right along. That was a great fight. These Would You Rathers have been awesome tonight. Thank you, guys. We haven't done this in a really long time. And I'm glad that we brought it back. And I'm glad that you got to do one.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a really stupid would you rather for you.
Oh, did you just think of one?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Jason's taking creative license. He's gonna read his own question that he just thought of.
It's complete with puns and everything.
Oh boy, is it complete or replete with puns?
Yeah, I don't know. You decide.
Okay.
Would you rather be content create
under the sea?
Yeah, with an octopus.
With an octopus garden in the shade.
So would you rather be content creator Kent, so Clark Kent, but you're like a really nerdy guy, but you
content creator Kent,
you're like a really nerdy guy, and like you're not fun to talk to at all, but you have to make a living off of making videos. Or
that's an awesome premise for a web series.
Yeah,
it's like Clark Kent is making TikToks.
Or
that's awesome.
Or are you superchat? You have.
You just thought of this?
Yeah, you have Superman's powers, but you have to give money to people every time you save them.
This is awesome. You have to give money to people.
Yeah.
I just rescued your cat. Have a tree. Here's $5.
Yeah.
Yes. Content creator Ken or super chat. Okay, I'm sorry everybody, but Jason wins the night with that super chat with that would you rather. That's oh my god. I just got your cat. Have a tree. Here's $5. I would rather have superpowers and save people, even if I have to give them money. Yeah, I'm just helping out. I mean, it's only $5 or $10 here and there. Like, it's super chat money, but I don't want to have to make lame YouTube shorts or TikToks all the damn time. That's my thing.
Especially if you're like introverted.
That was lovely. That was really, I can't even believe you said that. Sorry, I'm having a hard time moving on. That was beautiful. Just beautiful. Cinematographic, they're both going to kidnap your girlfriend. Buster can try. All right, moving right along.
Okay, this is from Senior Sticks. Would you rather have...
You said like you're surprised that he left a question.
Yeah. Would you rather have a McFarlane Spawn or a McFarlane Venom trilogy?
Oh, wow. If he's writing it, it's just...
It doesn't even
tied. It makes no difference. Like, read his Spider-Man run, it's just Spawn.
Yeah.
Now, read anything else he's ever done, like, it's... His Spawn and his Venom trilogy are the same trilogy. They probably have the same basic plot.
Yeah.
They probably have the same basic characters.
Yeah.
His Venom movies would have a Sam and Twitch, they just wouldn't be called that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, he'd have a girlfriend he was pining after that it's Wanda but not Wanda. Like it'd be the same thing. But gun to my head, Spawn, because I don't want a second crap Venom trilogy.
Yeah.
And because it would be
And that was-
fascinating to see him actually pull it off, even if it's awful.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been able to get anything off the ground adaptation-wise for that character in, like, 27 years.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about the false starts with his Spawn movie for, like, a decade.
Yeah.
I can tell you the number of Captain Logan shows where I've had, like, news about his Spawn movie for Blumhouse, even before it was going to be Blumhouse, in the title for a Captain Logan show.
Yeah.
And it's never been me going, oh, look, guys, it's going to happen now. It's always me going, don't get excited. Stop getting excited. You guys notice it's not in pre-production. It's not anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Still.
In an octopus's garden in the shade.
Okay, this is another.
Is that anybody's favorite Beatles song? I like that
No.
song. It makes me laugh. But is that anybody's favorite Beatles
No.
song? Sound off in the
I like-
comments. What's your favorite Beatles song?
I like "With a Little Help from Your Friends."
I like Paperback Writer.
Paperback Writer.
Well, I don't like it anymore. You've not. Thanks for ruining my favorite song.
That's what it sounds like to me. I don't like that song. It's all right.
You tell me something you really like, I'm just gonna try to completely ruin it. Oh, really?
Just kidding.
Is that your favorite thing? We just throw up all over it. Oh yeah, you love that one? Sucks.
Sorry, that was very mean.
Screw that noise.
So, we have another "Would You Rather" from Goofster. 1, 2, 3.
Why did Dan's Den just write the word talk? Is that a Beatles song? He just wrote talk. I don't know what that means. We are. I don't.
Talk.
I'm doing that. I am the walrus. People are saying.
A Day in the Life. Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
Yes, you were correct.
Austin loves Octopus's Garden.
So Sgt. Pepper's is my favorite Beatles album, and all of it is great. Yeah. I really like Mr. Kite.
my
one of my favorites.
my favorite Beatles album is Revolver,
Hey, Revolver.
followed closely by the naked version of Let It Be.
Yes, I was gonna say that's my second favorite, and then my third favorite is Revolver.
And I like Sgt. Pepper, but I got burnt out on it as a kid because my parents played it in the car all the time.
I think I was secretly your parents. I just played that over and over.
That's not possible.
Okay.
My 14-year-old son just told me he was secretly one of my parents.
Yes, I know both. Just kidding.
That's just, that,
Well, obviously I'm kidding. Why would
is this
I
a time travel, like I'm your own grandpa kind of situation? Like, all right, moving right along. We got another super chat. I don't know if we have any from before that you've missed, or are you caught up?
We're caught up.
He's caught up,
Besides
folks.
this.
Look at him go. Hey, we got 20 minutes left in the show, so we still have time for more Would You Rathers and Super Chats. Do you still have quite a few Would You Rathers?
Oh, I.
Wow, okay.
We'll
Well,
just-
feel free to keep leaving them,
Yeah.
but I don't know how many more of the pre-written ones we'll get to.
Yeah.
So if you really want to make one heard, and I'm not begging for cash when I say this, I'm just letting you know that if you really want to get one heard, it will probably take Super Chats at this point because he's got a big backlog. But don't feel like you have to do that.
This is from Goofster. 1, 2,
Appreciate
3.
you guys being here.
Would you rather
I'm sorry, I'm listening.
Todd McFarlane or Goffin Miller from Smallville cameo in your movie?
Oh, McFarlane all the way, because I know what I would do with him.
Yeah.
And I think it would be easier to be nice to McFarlane than Goffin Miller.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like a
I
horrible
agree.
thing to say, but like, Goff and Miller are just not great writers, and like I like some of their concepts with Smallville, but they kind of drive me nuts with some of the writing. And McFarlane, yes, is a terrible writer, but he's my favorite artist. and I really respect him as a business person. And I don't mean to say that I don't have any respect for Gotham Miller. I don't mean to say that.
Yeah.
But I think I admire McFarlane overall. If you just look at the whole history of these guys, I think I have more admiration for McFarlane. Like, let's take the negative side out of it. I have more admiration for Todd McFarlane than I do for those guys.
No, that's fair.
That sound I feel mean saying that, but I do. I think I have more admiration for Todd McFarlane. Furthermore, I know what I would do with him.
Yeah. What would you do with him?
Well, it would have to be more than a cameo.
Oh.
But we've talked about this. You and I.
I don't remember.
I just told you this the other day. Like what a possible premise for a Spawn-Year sequel. Related to Todd McFarlane. Yeah, I have several ideas for what I would theoretically do if I ever made a Spawn-Year sequel, and one of them is Todd McFarlane turns out is like a big Spawn-Year fan.
Yeah.
And he gets me to do the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because that's really funny.
Yeah.
And the way I do it is I'd have Todd McFarlane be like, no, I mean, just rip them apart. Like, just totally bury me. It's hilarious. Like, that's what I would do with it. Because I think that's really funny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
All right, anyway.
Okay, we have a super chat from Mutale.
Austin said Todd McFarlane actually has some good traits. Austin hates Smallville and Gotham Miller's writers. Oh, Tim Drake. Good lord, man.
Holy.
Thanks, dude. Well, sorry, buddy. He's probably won the night here. I'm gonna give Tim Drake a really nice video message. What is happening?
It looked awesome. I ate the balls.
Oh. I was looking over here and I was like, I'm missing the virtual nonsense happening on the screen. Okay,
All right,
anyway.
we have a super chat from Mutale. Would you rather be a king or an emperor?
Probably a king. That just feels like naturally more benign. Like, I'd rather be born into power than, like, take it.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Because I'm not the sort of person, like, I like leading things okay, but I'm not the kind of person that's, like, after power. I don't want to lead a nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm happy leading a Star Trek club or something. Like, that's that's good enough for me. Good question.
So, yeah, we got $50 from Tim Drake.
Good lord.
Cap and Jason.
Thank you, Tim Drake, for the support tonight, man.
Cap and Jason, you guys are awesome. Great show tonight.
Well, you are wonderful for just hanging out with us, but we really appreciate the monetary support, the donations. This is, what I do to provide extra cash for my family and for, what I do here, keep the channel up and stuff. So anyway, appreciate you. I never know what to say to things like that. That was super kind.
Yeah.
And really appreciate it.
All right.
I guess what I mean to say is really the main way that we support the channel these days is through the crowdfunding thing, be it Patreon or this. And so we love making the content, but it's a big deal when people help us out like that. So
yeah.
Thanks a ton.
All right, we have one more super chat for right now. This is from Lightning.
I wish we had a cool question to answer for him.
Yeah. We have a super chat from Lightning City. $2 super chat. Thoughts on Quinn's comments on playing Johnny?
I only glanced at it before the show started, so I don't want to comment on it right now. I barely saw it. I saw something about his like comparing what he's doing to old Johnny Storm, and that they've gotten away from the womanizing thing. That's all I saw, and so I don't feel like I can really comment on it yet. That's so fair. If somebody wants to bring it up next week, we'll talk about it.
This is from...
And thanks for the super chat. I just didn't see very much of the quote at all.
This is from Dan's Den. Would you rather your life be scored with a cello or a trumpet?
A cello, because I think a cello stands alone better. It's not even really about what would sound better for my life. Is it just a trumpet? Like, I need a trumpet backed up by something, you know? A cello by itself, I think, can do a little more. Are you with me here?
Yeah, I agree.
Also, a cello is better for the sad moments and the pleasant moments and the, like, super happy moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can do, like cello is probably easier to do sad stuff, but you can do happy stuff. It's hard to do really sad trumpet music.
Yeah, you can only just do...
You heard
That's all
it
you
here
could do.
first, folks. Jason thinks the only thing you can play on trumpet is YMCA.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind, so... I decided that that's the only thing you can play on trumpet.
Hey,
Well,
Dad, you know what the...
that's how your life is going to be
You know
scored.
what the score of your life is?
You're a young man.
Young man!
You're a young man, Dad.
It's the score of our life. Okay.
This is from John Henry. Would you rather live in a country of sci-fi fans only or fantasy fans only?
I mean, that's easy for me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not a fantasy guy and I don't know enough about that. So I would have a harder time making friends. I think is the answer for me.
Yeah.
What about you, though?
Sci-fi.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like you appreciate both genres more than I do, though.
I do, but fantasy gets boring. It depends on the thing. I mean, obviously.
science fiction can get boring, too. But...
Yes, it can. 2001: A Space Odyssey. No, I'm just kidding. I've never seen it.
Somebody send me some sad trumpet music. There's got to be some good standalone sad trumpet music.
Yeah. There's some good trumpet in some, like, mellow TMBG songs.
Darth Bobo, you need to be a film noir detective for a trumpet. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
You gotta know what a trumpet is.
You want to throw out maybe one more, and then we can do our last segment?
Sure. Let me try to find an actual good one. I kind of got all the, like, really good ones.
My favorite thing will be if we get copyright flagged for humming that. I hope that happens.
Yeah. Dan's Den. Would you rather have a piece of cake or a cream pie?
So I love pie, but I'm not being a cream pie. Like, it's kind of boring. Like, there's not, I mean, it's just kind of it's a plate of whipped cream. I mean, that's really what a cream pie is, right?
Yes! Jet Gemini! Oh my gosh.
He's freaking out.
Okay.
So I guess cake, but I don't eat a lot of cake anymore. Like,
okay.
But if it's between that and cream pie, it's probably still... Unless it's like coconut cream pie, and then I'll do that. Okay, what's up?
So, this is a big YouTube reference that is, like, legendary for, like, years.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know if you've... But this is $5 from Jet Gemini. And he has...
Oh, that's a name I don't even recognize. Hi there.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for the support.
Would you rather have unlimited bacon, but no more video games? Or games, unlimited games, but no more games?
No more bacon? No. Wait, what? Okay, I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I don't
Have
understand.
you never heard that?
I don't understand internet humor. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like 10 years old at this point. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna even attempt to explain that to me?
The point is it's not explainable.
Oh.
You have no idea. It's like, what does that even mean?
Well, it just sounds like a mistake.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Because if it's the bacon thing both ways, I don't eat bacon, so I'll take the video games.
Yeah.
I don't need to ever have bacon again. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat bacon. It's not a religious thing. I just don't eat bacon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meat I don't eat.
Okay, do you want to do
There's meat I eat. There's a lot of
the
meat I don't
last
eat.
thing?
Yes. Okay. So, and you know what? We meant to set this up earlier. We forgot to do it. So, I will put this out now. If you see another good would you rather in the interim, we could do one more.
Sure.
So what I need from folks in the live comments right now, a lot of audience participation tonight. It's a live show. That's the idea. Would you please put in a somewhat broad category for us? That's again kind of geeky, so it can be comic stuff, movie stuff, TV stuff, what have you. But Jason and I are gonna do a game of what we call is it bigger than a standard replicator, which is basically 20 questions. Although we don't count the questions. But it's yes or no responses until we get to the other person's answer. If we only have enough time for one, that's cool. If we have a little bit more time, we'll do two. I'll do one, you do one. Do you want me to do the first one?
You'll do the first
for you.
one.
Okay. So somebody throw a category out for me. Can be and like somewhat broad. You can go a little more specific. So can be, for instance, I'm thinking of a like animated movie, or I'm thinking of a superhero movie, or I'm thinking of a like of a superhero or a cartoon character. You know, it could be anything. Just throw out a category for us. And I'm going to take a category from the audience, and then I'm going to think of a thing, and I'm going to see if Jason can guess it. And while I'm waiting for a category, and if we don't get one, I'll just come up with something. While we're waiting for that, we'll do one more Would You Rather.
Yes. This is from Gooster 1, 2, 3. Captain Logan, would you rather an actual Netflix Daredevil Season 4 or Birds of Prey Season 2?
Wow. Well, this is going to be controversial. Because most everyone else on the planet would say Daredevil Season 4. But that show ended prematurely at Birds of Prey, and I feel like it had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And I really, really love that cast. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Dinah, but she grew on me. But that Huntress and Barbara Gordon, I just love them. There was a lot of potential with that show, and so I can't help but say that. But also, as Austin is fond of saying, we got a decent season 3, and it has an okay ending if it's not going to continue. And of course, now it has, but not in the way it would have if we gotten a true Netflix season 4.
Yes.
So as much as people felt like, you know, oh God, it's over, and that sucks because it should have kept going. And yes, it does suck that they didn't get to make the show, the season they wanted to make, but then that never happened anyway. So like that show got a good run, and Birds of Prey did not. But it actually kind of has an ending. It had a lot of potential. I wish it had kept going. But even though it got canceled prematurely, like it wraps up its arc, and you get a story beginning, middle, to end. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, like Smallville season 1 does. Like it got more of an ending than hardly any like one season show that was meant to continue.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's not a great show, but and I don't think it holds up super well.
I like Birds of Prey.
But anyway, yeah. No, I'm nuts. But okay. Do we see any good categories for our game?
No.
Oh, goodness.
Not really.
Okay, where do we want to go? I almost want to just go traditional and do Star Trek as much as it might bore people, because
You have one?
I've been on kind of a... I mean, I'll come up with something. Because I've been on kind of a TNG kick lately, and I've been hearing from people missing Star Trek content. So
Here's your Star Trek content.
I think I'm going to throw out a little bit of Star Trek content. I'm going to try to make it easy enough that we can do this in 5 or 6 minutes, because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark here. So let me think for just a minute and try to make sure that I can come up with something that I know that Jason knows.
I haven't watched Star Trek in a while.
Yeah? He's a little rusty, folks.
Maybe a little bit. I'll be fine. Yeah.
Now I got a meat car song stuck in my head. Thanks for that.
Huh? I'll be fine?
It's not important.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to I'm trying to think of something that I know for sure that you'll be able to do, because everything that's come to my head all of a sudden is just stuff that you may actually not know. We got another super chat there.
Yeah.
You want to read that real quick?
Sure. This is from Motale. Would you rather send Deathstroke or Deadshot to assassinate someone?
That's a pretty good one. I feel like Deadshot would be probably a little bit easier to work with. I think he'd be more reliable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Deathstroke seems like a little bit more of a loose cannon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Adult Swim. Yeah, I don't think there's any Adult Swim stuff that Jason would even know, and I don't know very much at all. But anyway, yeah, let me do a Star Trek thing real quick. Jason, I am thinking about something that has to do with Star Trek.
Star Trek. Yes, that's what we know. Okay, yeah. Is it alive?
That's what we know. Yes.
Okay, is it male?
Yes.
Is it humanoid?
Yes.
Is it from the, is it from a Star Trek thing before the year 1990? Is it in a Star Trek thing before the year 1990?
It is in a Star Trek thing that started before 1990.
Okay. Okay. Is it in TNG?
Yes.
Okay. Is it...
But the thing itself may not be in a season from before
You just don't know
1990.
exactly, sure.
What's that?
You just don't know exactly, sure.
No, I mean, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the way you asked
might
that,
not, yeah.
that could have been a really confusing thing to try to respond to.
Is it... Is he, on the ship?
On the ship.
Is he crew member?
You mean ever?
Is he a
or...
crew member? Is he a crew member of the Enterprise?
Not regularly.
Not regularly. Is it Barclay?
No.
Okay. Is he a one-off?
No.
Okay. Is he in any other series?
Yes.
Is he in DS9?
Yes.
Is it Alexander?
No.
Okay.
Alexander was never a crew member on the Enterprise.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Alexander was a little kid.
Right. No, this is true.
Who did not get to be an acting ensign like some children.
Yes. Was he ever on DS9?
Yeah.
Was he really? Wow.
I don't know how he grew up that fast, but yes. He has the Naomi Wildman thing where just all of a sudden he's a lot older. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I should say she has the... Anyway, go ahead.
Is this character older than Wesley Crusher?
Yes.
Okay. Like season 1.
Sorry, for a minute I forgot what we were talking about. Yep.
I forgot my thing.
Well, I got stuck in Alexander mode, yeah.
Is this character human?
This character is human.
Is this character part of Starfleet?
Yes.
Okay. Is this character in a major two-parter?
No.
Okay. Is this character ever acting captain for the Enterprise?
No.
Okay. Is this character a captain?
No.
Is this character an admiral?
Nope.
Okay. Does this character oh gosh. I'm confused. Okay, so you said it is human.
I'm gonna stump him, folks. It is human.
Okay. Is this character related to any of the main cast?
Yes.
Interesting. Huh? Okay. Well, I might be stumped.
Yes.
Because I don't really know what's going on. Is this character, like by blood related?
Yeah.
But male? Okay.
Yep.
Is this...
TNG and DS9.
Is it O'Brien?
Nope.
Is it related to O'Brien?
And I said does not regularly work on the ship.
Not regularly work on the ship. But has he worked on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Related to Riker.
Yes.
What? Is it like... sorry, I'm rusty.
Yep. That's all right.
I thought he was only in one episode, though.
Do you know who it is?
Because there's like... Doesn't he have a brother
Yes.
that, like, looks exactly like him?
Yes.
Is it... It's something Riker. It's
It
Thomas
is.
Riker.
Thomas Riker.
Yes.
There it is. Thomas Riker comes back in an episode of DS9 called Defiant.
Yes. This is about the Defiant?
Yep.
Yes.
That's the episode. Have you ever seen
He's
it?
in DS9?
Yeah.
He's in
Yes.
an episode of DS9?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the first act of that episode, you're supposed to think that it's Will Riker because
Oh.
he's posing as Will Riker, and then
Oh.
it turns out that he's Thomas Riker.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got his full beard, and he pulls part of his beard off, and he's just got a goatee. It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent episode. It sucks they never did any more with him though. But yeah, he shows up in DS9 and he's joined the Maquis.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. It's a good
Yeah,
episode. No,
I
I'll have to
haven't-
show you that. I thought you'd seen that.
No, and I haven't seen that. Like the main Thomas Riker episode.
Second Chances is one of my favorite
Second
episodes.
Chances. I have not seen Second Chances. I think I might have only seen that once. It's been a really long time.
Oh, good job, Daniel Calgano. Somebody knew it.
Yes.
Well, anyway,
Calgano.
that's going to do it for tonight's edition of the Captain Logan Show. I want to thank Tim Drake a ton for his Super Chats, and Mutali and everybody else that left Super Chats. But Tim Drake is the Super Chat winner for this evening, and I'm going to send him a personal message, and I'm going to thank him profusely again in that message, but also talk about something fun, I am sure. Tim Drake, I hope you're still watching. I'm going to once again put in the email address in the chat so that you can get a hold of me, and I can send you a link to an unlisted video which I will make in the next few days. I hope everybody had a good time tonight. We'll see you again next Wednesday at 7 o'clock for another one. Tomorrow night, Austin and I are going to review a few episodes of the Netflix animated series called Arcane, which was put in for a request, which is apparently related to the League of Legends video game. I know nothing about this, but people say that show's really good, so hopefully it's watchable and fun without knowing anything about that
It's supposed to
property.
be.
That's what I hear.
Because that game is supposed to be like not great, but the show's really good for some reason. So it's like,
You may have to watch it too.
yeah.
And then Friday night, Jason and I... So Austin's going to be out of town. We're going to have to table the next Rewind commentary for it the week after, which will be Captain America Civil War. So look forward to that. I'm really excited about doing the commentary on that. But Friday, Jason and I are going to do a special requested commentary on David Fincher's Seven.
Yes.
Which we watched today. And we so this was requested, I forget by who. I'll have to pull it back up and of course credit that person on Friday, but through a super chat win on another Captain Logan show, and that was supposed to just be a discussion, but I think we've decided to do it as a commentary.
I think we decided.
We usually do commentaries Friday night. That's a wonderful movie. I think we'll have enough to say. And I think it'll be fun to watch through and chat about while we're watching it again. So, thanks for hanging out, folks. And we will... Nader, man, I would pay through the nose for a Captain Logan cameo. That's funny. This will be kind of like a cameo.
Yeah.
So, I thought about trying to get on Cameo. I don't think I'm big enough for that.
Yeah.
And I can just do that kind of thing through here. If people like this, I will probably do a super chat goal for this more often, because it's a thing that's not like asking too much from me. Like it's not a thing that's too hard to put together for people. And I mean, I don't want it to be lame, but if people really like it, then I will offer this more often. I used to do this kind of thing on Patreon, and the way I did it there, I got a little bit burnt out on, because I guess I could offer it differently, but it was It was a thing where you could give me a topic to talk about, and sometimes I just didn't have enough to say about the topic, or I wasn't sure where to go with it. So if I've got a little bit more freedom, I mean, if there's something, and I'll say this to Tim Drake and anybody else that ever does this down the road, if you have a question or two for me, or there's something you want me to tackle in it, leave that, and I'll address it, but it might not be the whole thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's do that. That'll make it a little bit more personal. So Tim Drake, if you're still watching, do that. Tell me if there's anything in that email that you want me to answer or talk about. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you again real soon. I was Captain Logan, and this was Jason. Jason, great show, man. Thanks for everybody. And we will see everybody again real soon. Later, folks.
I wanna take you for a ride.